Trigger warning. This podcast contains the ins, outs, and a whole roundabout with women's health. This includes sexual assault, kinks, sex, anxiety, and others that may not be suitable for a younger audience. You know yourself best, so remember to be kind to yourself. This episode is about sex and anxiety. So let's get on with it then. Enjoy! Hello to all of you that put the U in uterus. It's Charlie from Uter-Us Talks, and we're a talk show where we speak about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about our lips, and not the talking kind. So, let's get it on. So in today's episode, we'll be speaking about sex and mental health. And today I have my womb mate, my whole sister, a suicide prevention worker, Amber Newman. So say hello, Amber.
Hello.
Right, do you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, so hi, my name's Amber. I am Charlie's womb mate.
Hi, Amber.
That's twin for people who didn't catch that. So I'm 22. I'm from Oxfordshire. Like Charlie said, I'm a suicide prevention worker. I'm technically classed as a specialist under 18s worker, and I work for a charity where we live. Yes.
Yeah, I know. So what got you into that charity, Amber?
So basically I have dealt with mental health issues pretty much from a very, very early age. Multiple suicide attempts and not very fun stuff. Was pretty much fucked over by statutory mental health services, weren't really helped at all by them. And yeah, in 2019 my mum saw a thingy on Facebook with my manager being like, need help. My mum was like, yeah, I can help, because mum's been through a lot with us. And then mum asked me to come. I said, yeah, sure, why not? Met with Jem, and it was an instant connection. And yeah, 3 years later, here we are, and I'm about to start my therapeutic mentoring training.
Go off,
which
queen.
I'm very excited about. So yeah, I love my job. I love the fact I get to help young people who are in the same sort of situation that I was back in the day, and basically give them the support that I never got.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
So, like, with kind of the mental health aspect of things, so we got sex, massive word, and mental health. So, do you think it's normal? Because, I don't know, it is normal. I think it's normal, but a lot of people see it in different sides,
So I think it is normal, and I think both subjects are massively taboo.
Oh, 100%.
So we don't like talking about our mental health. We can talk about the anxieties and the depressions and all that stuff. When it comes to serious mental health issues and mental illnesses, there is still a massive taboo against it, that we're crazy and all this stuff. And when it comes to sex, pretty much no one talks about it.
Well, if they do talk about it, it's generalised as like oh yeah, I shagged this bird last night. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, I shagged this bird and I had a panic attack at the same time. Like, no one talks about that, and I think it needs to be talked about.
And especially because the sort of modern world's view on sex is still that heteronormative man, woman, 2 seconds with the lights
100%,
off.
Yeah. 2 seconds. More like 50 seconds.
With the lights off sort of thing. It needs to be spoken about, and I think that's why it's a good topic to cover at the same time, because they are so similar. And people don't like to acknowledge the fact that there are mental health issues can impact sex in a massive, massive way.
Yeah, like literally I did some research when I was at work. Oh,
nice.
That's fabulous. So I did some research on kind of that sex can help depression and anxiety, but yet there's, I've had stuff that I've had like anxiety attacks in the middle of sex, and I've had to be like, whoa, slow down, or like, there's so much to it.
Yeah, so obviously it's all to do with your endorphins and your hormones, and it relaxes the body. Like when you climax, your whole body tenses and relaxes, and the whole idea of tensing and relaxing your body is actually a trauma technique to stop you from having panic attacks. It keeps you grounded, it calms you down, so there's that side of it.
Bloody hell, that's my type of yoga, that is.
And also, so for instance, I did like a self-care workshop thing today, and one of the things about physical self-care, it literally says, have sex.
Or bash one out.
Or crack one out,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
I know.
The more you know.
There we go.
That's what you need to do, ladies.
That's your excuse.
Anyone who's listening right now, just crack one out when you're feeling a bit stressed.
Yeah, it does a world of good.
So why do you think mental health and sex have such a thing in common? Why do you think there is that thing?
I think a lot of the time so I'll break it down for you. So we have mental health as a whole is just your mental well-being, and then from that you can become mentally unwell, and then that is like a mental illness. So if you imagine like a tower, so mental wellness at the bottom, then you become mentally unwell, and then mental illness is completely different to that.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you're mentally unwell, it does not mean you have a mental illness. If you are mentally unwell, please reach out to someone. Great, awesome, thank you. But I think it has such a thingy in common is because it impacts so much. So for instance, I'll go back to the anxiety and the depression and all that stuff. It makes you feel unsexy. And when you're unsexy, you don't want to have sex.
Yeah, 100%. Like literally, you feel the most unconfident in your life. Like you've probably just sat in a hoodie, not washed your hair for 3 days, and not brushed your teeth. Do you know what I mean?
To go out and pee. Do you know what I mean?
It's like even walking up the stairs is knackering, let alone someone banging you in the back doors. It's just like sorry to put it. Sorry to put it bluntly.
But fucking hell, hurry up on his bedtime.
Yeah. So you just like, I understand.
And also with things like sexual trauma and sexual assault, rape and stuff. I know there's going to be a trigger warning, but trigger warning. When it comes to that sort of stuff, we're sort of taught that, oh yeah, survivors of those things, I say survivors, not victims, for a reason. Survivors of those things won't want to have sex, and it's like, well, no, they're human.
Yeah.
And if they find partners, people,
it's all about feeling safe as well.
That they feel safe with, exactly, that they are going to want to do that, but it does take some time, and it does take trauma work to get them through that. Same with sort of, off a similar sort of thingy as to like the anxiety and the depression, stuff like body image and eating disorders and things like that. Having a really shit body image, or having something in your head that is telling you that you are not worthy unless you look a certain size, you are not going to want to jump on someone. Yeah, and I think that's what people need to realise, is that there's so much expectation that even in relationships, or even not even in relationships as well, that if you see someone that you are attracted to, you immediately have to jump on them, which is not the case. If you have some sort of trauma, that there might, even though you feel like you might want to, there's still going to be that barrier. And at the end of the day, like, people need to respect that. 100%. And it's something like, for instance, I'll be very honest, it's something I've struggled with. I have something beautiful called vaginismus. It sounds like a superpower, do you know what I mean? Right. Or Christmas, it sounds like a fun holiday. And that was off the back of being sexually assaulted when I was like 15, 16. And it's been incredibly difficult to become intimate with partners. And it got to the point where I felt like I was the problem, and that I had to constantly keep apologising for it. But you shouldn't have had to keep apologising. I'm sorry, oh my God, I'm sorry, oh my God. And it gets to a point where the only time I could be intimate with my partners or have sex and all that stuff, whatever you want to call it, I'd had to be drunk, and that comes with a whole other ball game of other stuff I'm not even going to offload here. But it's not until I met my partner now, big up Jay, love him, what a goat, that he's actually been the first partner that I've been with to be like, no, we'll take it as slow as you like. Yeah. And they have to respect that. At the end of the day, like, A, you shouldn't have had to apologise for it. B, even if you did feel there was like, you had to apologise, it's not your fault. It's your trauma and it's your body. And even though it might be hard for partners to understand, you need to communicate. You need to talk about it. And they should educate themselves, and they should be there to be like, no, you know what? You're going through this. If they can't handle it, they should tell you, look, this is too much for me. And good on them if they can do that. But just being a dick about it doesn't help anyone. So just don't. But yeah, safe to say now, my sex life is incredible, and my vaginismus symptoms are pretty much floated away. So I know it's fine. Yes, wow. Well, on the subject of vaginismus, do you think like there's a standard, like, that you shouldn't have felt that way towards? You shouldn't have felt anxiety.
You shouldn't have, felt guilty for it. Do you think there's a standard for that?
I think there's pretty much a standard that everyone thinks that sex should be fun, sex should be enjoyable, particularly for the male counterpart, if there is a male counterpart, because obviously sex is all about them.
Yeah.
The people with vaginas, we don't care.
Oh,
no one gives a shit about us. So yeah, I do think there comes a standard where there comes that, but also I think the standard for everything is overly, what's the word? I don't want to say sexualized because it's like, well, duh, it's sex. But have you seen some of the shit on porn Twitter?
Do you know what's funny?
Oh my god, you're so. I get that people like aggressive sex, people like this, people like that. You like whatever you like. Do you know what I mean? As long as you want to do it in the comfort of your home, own home, and there's consent and all that stuff, you're fine. But dude, I do not want to be bent back like a pretzel.
Do you know what? It was quite funny. I remember I was sleeping. I slept with this guy. It was a one night stand. He was a millionaire. It's crazy. I know. So that morning, I woke up. He was gone. Right, he completely gone. And then he went to all of his friends who I know, and she went, "Yeah, she fucked like a porn star," and I got happy about it. Why did I get happy about it? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I shouldn't like, at the time I was like, oh cool, yeah, go on. But then really thinking back about it, it must have been faking it, to be honest. Like,
100%.
I don't, you get one touch and they're like orgasming.
I know, something that like about to pass out. Fuck me.
It's like, Jesus Christ, that's like, I think that's the standard though, isn't it?
Yeah,
now
definitely.
Apparently.
When it comes to feeling anxious and stuff, I feel like it is the standard to feel anxious the first couple of times you do any sexual experience and get all giddy and excited. Yeah. And there's that anxiety there to it as well.
But you learn and grow with whoever you're with.
Yeah, but I also feel like people expect that to go away and that anxiety to like pass.
Yeah.
Especially when you, for instance, me and Charlie were both in relationships, quite long-term relationships when we were younger. And when we broke up, did you feel anxious sleeping with other people?
Yeah, like I think it was like because that was the first person that I had slept with. That was obviously, it was like 4 years or whatever. Like, I mean, part of me was excited because I knew that I lost my virginity quite young. So when I did come out of that relationship, a lot of people hadn't lost their virginity, so I could
teach them the ropes.
Teach them to not slide past my clitoris and touch my leg. No, but I think it was just like kind of a thing. Yeah, I get why you'd be anxious, and I was definitely anxious about it because I was like, am I doing it right?
Yeah, I remember the first time I did it outside of that relationship. Oh no, you remember this one?
What, when you...
The Warwick dude. I texted someone that I used to work with and I was like, bro, I've just been broken up with, fancy a booty call because I'm
naturally
trash.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know what? A girl needed what a girl needed, and it's not to boost trash. Her self-esteem.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went to his house, we drank a lot of wine and it was absolutely horrendous. And then in the morning he woke me up at like 6 a.m. We had a shower and he was like, no, my dad's coming back, you have to go. And I was still quite drunk and he made me find my own way home.
I know, was that the guy that stuck it
in my thighs? Yeah. I was leaving that bit out, but thank you for outing me. It was awful.
I can't believe he made you to get home on your own.
But I still pretended I enjoyed it. Why? You're not hitting anything.
Do you know what I mean? You should have just... Why did you do that? Why do we have such a standard to pretend? Why do we have to pretend? Like, what's the point? Because you're just not going to learn about it. But the guy is sticking it in your thighs and thinking... also...
Oh, he's probably going for it, bless him. But now I've got to the point, like, that was when I was 19. But now I've got to the point as a 22-year-old woman where I am very confident in saying, no, this is what I like. This is what I don't like.
Yeah.
And we're in this together, bro. You've got to please me as much as I'm going to please you in this situation.
Yeah.
And you have to be that little bit selfish.
Well, it's quite funny because I had a conversation with a partner about my kind of what I like and what I don't like. And over how many years of, being sexually active, I literally turned around to them and said, I don't know. Because the amount of times... It's been a one-time thing and gone. One and done. No, I'm joking. But it's been like a one thing and gone. Like, they've only done it to please them.
Yeah.
So it was like they were really shocked about it, and I was like, yeah, no, it's never been a thing, and it's crazy to think that.
It is mental.
So on that, you said about sex and self-harm.
Yes.
Right, go on, teach us.
Okay, so a lot of times, again, we'll go back to like the trauma stuff, or we can go to it's very stereotypical of lesbians to do this. Well, they'll go out their way to have sex with men as a form of self-harm, but they don't recognise that it's a form of self-harm, and then after the deed's done, they can sit there and go, oh my god, I feel so shameful, I feel so guilty, and they almost thrive off that feeling. The ill part of their brain goes, yeah, you are shameful, you are a dick for doing that, and it sort of feeds into their self-harm.
Oh my god.
And their self-worth. Again, with trauma survivors, like I said, they'll tend to put themselves, some, obviously not all, can put themselves in awkward situations to sort of as a form of self-harm, so they constantly relive whatever happened to them because their brain believes that they were that basically it was their fault when that happened. So stuff like that. Other things you do is, like, for instance, if you have any pain during sex, you wanting to keep having that pain can be a form of self-harm as well. When it comes to stuff like BDSM and all that stuff, it's a very fine line. But I feel like if you do it purposely because you know it's a dangerous behaviour and you thrive off that rather than I just like to be choked because it gets me off, or I just like to be I like my hair pulled because it feels good. If you're doing it purposely because you know it's a reckless behaviour and you know that behaviour might go wrong, then that is a form of self-harm.
Trauma. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So self-harm is pretty much anything that you could use to harm yourself. So it's not just like, for instance, the cutting, the head banging, the biting, scratching, pulling hair. It's also like recklessly spending, alcoholism, drugs, sex, all that stuff, purposely putting yourself in dangerous situations.
Bloody hell.
All of that is classed as self-harm.
Wow,
you're welcome.
The more you know.
There we go.
I have a question. Thoughts on people liking people dressed up as children? You know, age play. This is going way off topic, but I just need some thoughts on that, because it's just,
I mean,
I'm not gonna judge, but also
it's one of those things where it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I think it's all about the intent behind it, rather than what's actually being played out.
Yeah.
Because if it is two consenting adults and they just do it because it's fun, then fair enough. But if it is two adults where one of the adults does have a fantasy about a child, then it is wrong. But like, I've called my partner's daddy in the bedroom. I've been like a dirty little whore.
But I mean like
we're learning so much about each other today.
I think no, but I mean like as in dressing up.
See, that's a bit wrong to me.
Yeah, the thing is that it's like you like what you like, but also I don't know.
Paedophilia, Charlie.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to say it, but do you know what I mean?
It is a bit noncy. Like, I am very much at each your own. If it doesn't hurt people, it doesn't hurt people. But as someone who works with young people, and I'm constantly on the alert for like sexual abuse, any like safeguarding stuff, that does concern me.
Yeah.
But I think that's because that's where I come from as a professional. Does that make sense?
I mean, on fetishes.
Oh god, here we go.
So what is the maddest fetishes, or not maddest, but like I've got one, and I know you know this. So like anyone that's had experiences of people saying fetishes to them and they don't know what to do, here's one for you. So I will never think, you know.
Sorry,
you know what
I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but it's only because it's Charlie I can laugh.
It's okay. So one time, one of my ex-partners, I farted. So anyway, to say it really, I farted, and he told me to do it again, and I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. Like, what? Okay. So I was trying to brew one. Do you know when you have to brew it before you do it? And I was like hoping it wasn't going to smell. And I did like the tiniest one, and he just goes, oh. Turns out he had a fart fetish. Right, thoughts on that? Because, like, what do you do in that situation? If someone tells you a fetish that you are not, like, obviously, like, I told him I wasn't into it, and then we ended up, like, breaking up. Not because of that, but because of other reasons. But, like, what do you do? Like, do you have any advice?
I mean, honestly, I'm speechless. She said that on the pilot. What's the rest of the show gonna be like? Do you know what I mean? But no, I do think that having communication between your partner is so important, and having the consent to explore stuff. Like, I feel like, how many times can I say like this episode? Do a shot every time I say like, JK, don't, because you'll die.
No, I think you.
But I do think that having a relationship, a sexual relationship, is all about exploring fantasies and exploring this, exploring that. But if one person isn't into it, the other person should accept that.
Yeah.
Or see if we can compromise, being like, okay, I'm not going to fart on you. I can fart in air.
God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And do it that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
I just burped. That was lovely.
Mm.
Please cut that out. But yeah, I don't think I've really had any weird ones. It's usually me giving the.
But is there a weird fetish? Yeah, there's got to be weird fetishes.
I mean, like, the balloon one's very interesting. Have you heard about the balloon one? People who like people sitting on balloons, and they like it. Don't laugh, Charlie. Respectful.
Sorry.
Yeah. So there's people that like it when they're called looners, and they jump on balloons, and then when they like the anticipation of it, and when they pop, they orgasm.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Krusty the Clown has a run for his money.
Sorry.
What? Sorry, that's actually...
I just love how you jump from sex and self-harm to looners. Oh my goodness.
Talking about looners.
Oh god, here we go.
So, this is the section where we browse the hub. So this is Browsing the Hub. I'm trying to put the music in there. So, this week on Browsing the Hub, we are going to search up on Urban Dictionary, I know, stupid sex terms.
Okay,
right.
I feel like what we need to do is you need to tell me one, and then I've got to try and think of what it means.
Okay.
Have you not got Urban Dictionary up?
Right. I've wrote the word sex.
Okay.
So, right, sex. Something I'll probably never have. I've never had sex before, and never, most likely never will.
There's always a mattress, babe. You
Do you
can
know?
Oh god.
Sex. When you shove your dick into a lava lamp because you're lonely as fuck. What?
Jerry the wanking dolphin.
But it's not touching.
Oh, sorry. I'm so used to my one. Has it got any more terms? Oh. Oh.
Right, we're on Jerry the wanking dolphin.
So Jerry the wanking dolphin has also said a cock, a rooster. What did you think, you dirty-minded cock? That cock has nice feathers.
What's dirty thunderstorm?
Oh god.
Okay. This requires some moral fortitude to successfully pull off. If you don't really want to do it, you straight up won't. This is an act of breaking up or ensuring that your girl or guy never calls you again.
Okay.
Okay, right. So if you got some weirdo, this is the one for you. So you have to have sex with them first, otherwise it's not efficient.
Effective.
Dyslexia. After sex, when they're asleep, you've got to take a crap somewhere other than the toilet.
No.
What? Here, where would you do it?
Here's where the
No, but where would you do it? That's
Oh, plant pot.
plant pot.
Compost, innit?
I would do it.
I
I'd do it in a
answered that
sock.
so quick.
No, do you know what I'd do it?
I've never done this before.
Do you know how actually I would do it? In a bowl, so when they get the cereal in the morning.
Oh, that's cruel. No, I'll do it in the sick bowl. Let it linger.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay,
right.
Here's where the more moral fortitude comes in. You'll need a ladder first and something to pick your crap up with.
Oh, God.
Pick up your excrement
Excrement
and place it on top of the fan blade. Spread it out I don't know if I actually want to read this.
I don't.
Trigger warning. If you don't like
No,
poo.
I'm just gonna skip ahead. Okay, basically, you put your shit on a fan, start flicking the lights on and off, screaming until your unfortunate victim wakes up. They start moving and moaning, turn the fan to max and run. If done right and fast enough, the majority of the wall's floor near the corner will have little flecks of shit everywhere.
What the fuck? Who's done brief Jennings? Who?
What? That's Kiefer.
Is that even a name? Oh god.
Right, here we go. Tip: if you feel like you may have taken too much time or your stool's a little dry, it's okay to wet the fan blades before
god,
you turn
that's
it
actually
on.
disgusting. Who does that?
Can you imagine it? Oh, TDIYA, this dick in your ass. Can I put TDIYA? It's the fact it said yo ass. And it made me think of that. Oh my god, I keep touchscreening.
What is it called? Tadia.
Tadia. That sounds
To D your ass. To D your. Okay.
Oh, apparently, when you have a clean smelling, well groomed vagina, it's called a happy fish.
What?
What's your opinions on that?
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
I think that's kind of misogynistic.
Yeah.
What
did you call it?
What?
Misogynistic. No, you said misogynistic.
Did I actually?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck. I can't talk, guys. You'll just learn this.
So the next bit is vulva. Vulva. So this is fact or fiction, but instead,
what's fact? What's fiction?
yeah. So
no, what word's fact and what word's fiction?
Okay, so the word for fact is vulva.
Sorry. There you go. So vulva is fact.
You can't
vulva
look at the
is
screen.
Fiction. Okay.
Okay, so vulva is fact.
Mhm.
So vulva is fact.
Yep.
Or Volvo, like the car, is fiction.
Okay.
So the first question. It is said that sex is good for the heart. It takes around 10 minutes in the bedroom to increase your pulse and help your heart. True or false? Vulva or Volvo?
I'd say vulva because it's like cardio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is Volvo. It's actually around 30 minutes in the bedroom that increases your heart rate, which...
What are they doing? Just lying down still?
What do you mean?
Maybe I'm just really unhealthy. To be fair, I get knackered walking up the stairs, but like 10 minutes in, usually I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, but 30 minutes.
I'm dying. 30 minutes is long, innit? I mean, it's not that long.
It's not that long.
Sex for like hours, but
30 minutes of high cardio. That's like running on a treadmill.
I'd much rather do 30 minutes of sex, to be quite honest. Get something out of it.
So, second question. Don't look.
Okay,
right.
Eyes are closed.
High levels of anxiety have been found in women with dyspnea or vaginismus who seem to experience severe pain during sexual intercourse.
Vulva.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding. The answer is vulva. There is high levels of anxiety. This is interesting, as sex is meant to reduce stress.
Yes, but if it's in a situation that's going to make you uncomfortable, your fight and flight will be triggered.
So, right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how you relax your vaginal muscles during sexual intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
This is something for people who have vaginismus or dyspnea. Is it dyspnea? I don't want to... Is that how you say it? Dyspnea?
Dysparian? What? Dysparian.
If I am saying it wrong, please correct me.
We struggle to speak.
Yeah, so please correct me.
Okay.
Right. So this is apparently the way you relax your vaginal muscles. So you place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. just below your rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath into the count of 3, then exhale to the count of 4.
I don't feel much. Is that it?
Yeah, but is that true?
I mean,
fact or fiction?
Any deep breathing does. So I think it's fact.
I think it's vulva. You think it's vulva?
Yeah.
It is vulva.
Yeah, because one of those breathing, so it's called box breathing, where you breathe in and then breathe out, and then breathe in and then breathe out for like one extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, breathing is great because it resets your parasympathetic nervous system, which then sends a message from your heart to your brain that there's no threat, and then stops the tensing.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, the more you know. So, the last one. I was meant to do 5, but we're doing 4. Right. Even though 1% and 5% of people have recorded vaginismus, doctors believe it's not as common of a condition.
Wait, say that again?
So, even though
Mm-hmm.
1% and 5% of people,
1 to 5%.
1 to 5% of people have recorded vaginismus, doctors believe it's not as common of a condition.
I say vulva because doctors are usually misogynistic and don't give a shit about people with a vagina.
Oh, tea.
Is that true?
No, it's vulva. Even though 1 to 6% of people have recorded vaginismus, doctors believe it is a relatively common condition. So it's common.
Okay, but I do think because only 1 to 6% of people have a recorded diagnosis, it is that thing. It's like, oh well, I don't want to go to the doctor about my vagina because they'll tell me something's wrong, or they'll poke a prod through it, and that makes me uncomfortable. So I feel like not many people have gone to the doctor for it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So, right. So we got some questions from the viewers.
Oh God.
So, okay. First question. Right. How do you tell your partner your sex life is shit in a nice way? Right. Go.
Okay. So what I would do is I would sit down with them and allow for that honest conversation to come up and be like, look, X, Y, and Z, I think our sex life could be better by this. So don't focus necessarily on how shit it is at the moment. Focus on how you could both make it better in the future.
Yeah.
So an example would be, look, I know you love doggy.
Yeah.
That position, for whatever reason, hurts my hips, it hurts this, it hurts that. Do you mind if we can adapt that to make it more comfortable for myself so that you can still hit me from the back, but my hips aren't gonna fucking go out of place?
Yeah.
Or, look, I'd really appreciate it if we had more intimacy. I'd really appreciate it if you kissed me a bit more, because I know that's a thing that tends to happen. Especially in my experience, it's like one kiss and then it's like, oh, okay, fine. Or, oh, I wish we have a bit more foreplay because it does take me a bit more longer to get aroused than you do.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So rather than focus on how shit it is now, focus on what it could be evolved to. And I think that's a very open, honest conversation to have with your partner. And I think it is one of the things that you say, look, it's shit, but it's shit because we're doing it together and we don't know what we like and don't like. So you need to have that discussion and you need to be open.
It will be scary, but
it'll be absolutely terrifying. You feel like you're a piece of shit. Or
you're just like gonna sink in a hole.
Yeah, but
once it's over, it's like ripping a band-aid off. Once it's over, it's over.
Exactly.
Just bring it like one time. Just maybe when you're having a cup of tea. That's a good idea.
Make it casual. It doesn't need to be like a sit down going for a prenup.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. So this is question number 2. So with contraception, why do you think guys just assume that all women are going on contraception or all women are on contraception, and why do you think that is?
Because they think the only reason we have contraception is to stop us getting pregnant.
Yeah.
I think they forget the STIs exist and they're a real thing. And it's not just my responsibility. If we're having sex together, it's each other's responsibility to either get tested if you don't want to wear contraception or wear a condom. It is not just down to me. Yes, I am the baby making factory, if you will, with my womb and shit like that. But I could have kids maybe 2 to 3 times a month. You can go and impregnate people every day. Why the fuck am I the one being relied on for contraception? And this is a very interesting question because I'm not on any contraception currently, and I don't plan to go on it.
Yeah.
I've been on it since I was like, what,
But
12?
the thing is, there's so many things with contraception. That's a whole different thing.
Like, bro, I was on it from 12 to 22.
Yeah.
It fucked up my hormones.
Yeah.
I hadn't had an actual like period in like 10 years. So when I've come off it, and I've actually enjoyed getting to know my body for what it is normally and naturally. Sure, obviously, if you have any medical conditions or you do want to take contraception, that is your own choice. It's your body, you do what you like. But for me personally, it's not something I wanted to continue doing. And one of my conversations I had when taking my implant out, because I got it taken out early, was, how does your partner feel about this? Fuck
It's like,
my partner.
no, you don't need to.
How do I feel about this?
Yeah.
I don't want this bit of fucking plastic in my body.
That's such a wrong. Why? Like, it's not your partner's
Also,
responsibility.
Shame on you to just assume I'm straight.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. But shame on you to just assume that my partner's a male.
Yeah.
And also, it's none of his fucking problem. It's not anything to do with him.
Yeah.
I told him, look, I'm taking this out. We can either use a condom or we can pull out and pray. It's your choice. But if you pull out and pray, if we pull out and pray, you have to deal with the consequence, as have I.
Yeah. Exactly. Pull out and pray.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Respect to anyone who pulls out and pray.
It's fucking scary. But yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it for the contraception one.
Okay, next question. So, this was an interesting one. I was speaking to a woman at work about kind of contraception and stuff. And something interesting is when you say, so when a guy says to you, I don't want to wear a condom because it doesn't feel as good. Okay. So do you think if it was the other way around, so if the man had to take the pill and if a woman had to wear a condom and she said, I don't want to wear one because it doesn't feel good, do you think it would change?
She would be victimised for it.
Do you think?
Not victimised. She'd have not victimised, that's the wrong word. She would be like thingy for it. I do think it would come back negatively.
Yeah.
Because it's very much, I feel like we are the bystander in sex and we don't really matter. But I feel like it still would be that way if males had to rely on contraception and we had to wear condoms or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I like that one.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it?
So, like, I was speaking to the woman at work and I think 100%, like, it would literally be the fact that we would be, like, ridiculed. And, you know, even now, like, slut shaming is a thing. Like, sorry, but let us live.
Also, side note, have you seen a femidom?
No.
They're huge.
What's oh, femidom.
Yeah, we're Googling it.
Fem?
It's huge.
What is that?
So basically, it's like a large condom and you shove it up your jacksie and it's like, so it's like reversible.
Yeah.
Not reversible. It's not like a blanket. But it's like we put the end where it stopped up.
They're huge.
So it's essentially a plastic bag to catch cum.
A plastic bag?
It's a sandwich bag.
Oh my god.
They're huge, aren't they?
Should we look at the price comparison? How much are they? Where can you get them from? Okay, here we go.
$22.99.
That's for 18. For 9, it's $11.99.
How much is? Oh, they give you a trial for $1.99. That's considerate.
We're on British.condoms.uk.
How much is it for normal condoms?
What one should we do?
Let's do Durex. I feel like everyone's good with Durex in the UK.
Durex Invisible.
Extra lubrication, thin. Sometimes, like, can I just say, lube is just, it's a great invention, but God, does it wind up my sensory issues.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Let's just do the standard extra safe condoms.
Okay. So the women's one were $11.99. It's only £1 difference.
But how much was the 20?
The 24 condoms, that was 30 quid.
And this one's
24.
24.90. No, this one's $19.99 for 24.
But you can get paying 4 installments of £5 off ClearPay. I'm sorry, who's ClearPaying condoms? Also, if you didn't know, if you live in the Oxfordshire area, I don't know if this is a thing anywhere else, please do forgive me. There is something called the C card scheme, which has been provided by Oxfordshire Sexual Health. Okay, what that is, you can sign up on a website, it's nice and easy, and they will send you in the post a little condom card. It's very, very discreet, and between the ages of, I believe it's like 15 to 25, you can get free condoms at pharmacies.
Really?
Yes. You ruined it.
Okay, hang on. This is the last question.
Okay.
Last question, yeah?
Yeah.
So, what are you going to put in the Clitor Hall of Fame?
I love that pun. Can I just say?
It's such a hard thing to say.
Clitoral.
Clitor Hall.
Clitor Hall.
Clitor Hall.
Clitor Hall. Clitor I, Clitor E, Clitor-Us.
Oh, that's quite a good one.
You're welcome. So in the clitoral, oh my god, now I can't fucking say it. In the Clitor Hall of Fame, what I am going to put is...
It can be anything. You could put anything in there. You could put Louis Walsh in there and you would not know.
Love that little Irish man. Anyways, okay, what I would put in there is... Can I do 2?
Yeah.
Because it's the first episode. Can I be nice and get the ball rolling with 2?
Go on.
Okay, so first thing I would put in the Clitoral of Fame is a journal and a pen And it sounds so stereotypical, but journaling is iconic. We love it, and it's really good to work things through by yourself doing it.
Yeah.
And then another thing I would put in there is communication.
Oh, okay.
Can that be a thing?
Yeah.
I can put that in there.
Yeah, you can put
that. I've spoken a lot about communication today, but really having that trust and having that communication with your partner, if you will, makes an absolute world of a difference when it comes to sex and being able to enjoy it and feel safe. And I feel like if we all spoke a little bit more to each other, the world would be a bit more of a sexy place.
Yes, and that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
Because we want the world to be a bit more sexier.
Yes, and sex positive. We love sex positivity.
Yes. So, if you're embarrassed or anything, shake that embarrassment off. Take a deep breath and just remember that crack one out when you're stressed.
Yep, and if you are embarrassed, just remember Charlie admitted on the first episode of this that her ex-partner
had a farting session.
Yeah, and wanted him to fart on her. Wanted her to fart on him.
You know, I still can't believe I admit that, but it's all for the cause. It's all for the cause.
It is what it is. It's life, and sex is embarrassing. It can be hilarious. It can be sexy. It can be like very intimate and loving.
Yeah.
So don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. So that's it. So thank you for coming on the podcast, Amber.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we've gone in and around the bedroom today. And now I'm a bit shattered. I don't know about you. I'm just tired.
I'm going to have a cup of tea and a fat nap.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say a fat
cup of tea and a fat wank.
So this week, I want you to try something. I want you to look in your mirror naked. Yes, I said naked, and yes, be positive and be like, I am sexy. I got this.
I am sexy. I am worthy of love. Not just others' love, but my own love. I am worthy of being cherished. I'm worthy of being compassionate. I am worthy. I'm a worthy person.
Yes.
We love affirmations.
Yes, we love affirmations.
Well, thank you for having me. I've had so much fun. I feel like we've bonded a lot. We haven't really ever delved into this conversation. Just because it's never really come up. Like, it's not like I come home and talk about sex constantly.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but not when you listen.
Yeah. I'm probably half asleep from work, really, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. So once again, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, so I hope you all had a good time listening, or even not listening. I don't mind. But yeah, so thank you guys that put the U in uterus, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.